Our Bible text is Exodus 20, the verse 13. You shall not murder. So we are again amongst the 10 commandments. And in our church tradition, as we understand it, this is the 5th commandment. You shall not murder. So it refers to the taking of innocent life. So the Hebrew Bible has several words to kill, to slay, or to cut off. So these other kind of words that is used, but in the Hebrew word is ratzach, and it specifically refers to the taking of innocent life. So the word ratzach, which refers to unlawful or intentional killing. In the Old Testament, I mean, those days were also brutal. Killing was seen in different ways. Sometimes you had to kill in warfare. I mean, the Israelites were actually commanded, go and kill the people. If we go to passages like Deuteronomy 20, Numbers 31, Joshua 6 and 8, and also Leviticus 26, verses 7, there the commands are to kill enemies. So they were as seen in divinely sanctioned wars. There was also in the Old Testament judicial execution. If you go read Genesis 9, Exodus, Leviticus, all those passages that are mentioned there. And then there was also killing in self-defense. So there's one like Exodus 22 speaks of, there's a thief or somebody comes to you at night, you can kill that thief in your house, but you cannot do so if it's daytime, etc. There's also Numbers 35, which maybe also refers to self-defense, where it specifies a city of refuge, that if you've killed somebody, you can run to that city and refuge, so that those people can't, or family members can't come there and kill you back, etc. And now if we focus also on the judicial execution, where people can be, in that sense, be killed lawfully. So various passages in Exodus and Leviticus, there people must be put to death for murder, for cursing or striking parents, and for kidnapping. Other passage in Leviticus, it's for blasphemy, you must be put to death. For other passages, it's for idolatry, or you promote idolatry, you must be put to death. Adultery, same thing. Also Sabbath breaking, if you break the Sabbath, you must be put to death. And the various methods of execution that was described in the Old Testament is stoning or burning people, or using the sword, or that refers to decapitation. So it was quite a brutal kind of world back then. Of course, that's the old covenant. We cannot go there, and it's not part of the new covenant's teaching where we can execute people. So there were different ways that people could be legally killed in the Old Testament. But our command specifically is, as it was understood back then, it's the killing or the taking of innocent life. Murder. Murder proper. And the basic principle goes back to what is said in Genesis 9 verse 6. If we read it, it says there, whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made man. So that's also the underlying principle for this commandment, the 5th commandment as we have it. You must not kill innocent life, because the life, human life, is something that's made in God's image. It's to protect the sanctity of life. Now Jesus even took this law further, this commandment. If you go to Matthew 5, the verses 21 to 22, Jesus says there, this is now part of the Sermon on the Mount. You have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be in danger of the judgment. But I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. So Jesus takes that law even further, because anger, things that lie here within, it can lead to murder. And even that is like committing the same as murder, with the intention of the heart, what lies within the heart. So Jesus builds on that commandment, you shall not murder. It's not just a physical act. If there's anything within you that relates to murder, anger, or it can lead to it, get rid of it. That's also sinful. But the commandment here, of course, in its historical context, does not refer to other lawful killing as it was understood at the time. It was to the taking of innocent life. But Jesus also builds on it and makes it deeper. He says, what's in your heart, there must be no anger. He also said other things like, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are the pure in heart, whatever. So with the new covenant, there's of course a whole different understanding to attitude. Love your neighbor, love your enemy. So there's a deeper thing of, or a deeper aspect to your relationship with your neighbor that Christ also brought to the fore.